Hello and welcome to the fourth video of this installment. Spoilers, we won the first one, we went second in the second one, and we got busted in fourth position in the third one, basically against the guy who managed to play every pot and still outflop everyone. Some odd way. I think he didn't play one pot, which was against my H deck or something. Can't recall anymore. But we'll see how we do here. Hopefully better, at least, than in top 2. Just trying to gain some information about the people here. How they play, so he dunk bets on the flop after initial raising, so it's basically just c betting here. 4-8, I won't even defend. So there's the guy that plays 2-on-2 for now. And this is information that you usually want to keep in mind when playing poker. How many times someone is in a pot, how many times they actually show aggression, stuff like that, how many times they open, how many times they fall to a 3-bet. So it's 3-on-3, so I'm opening his range. It probably means he has a weak opening range. I'm gonna call for 50 on pocket 3s. I think my hand is still good here, so I'm gonna call a single one. Depending on the size, of course. Yeah, definitely gonna call 80. Don't think a 10 makes a huge difference, but I can't actually continue there. 9 is a third heart, so wow, we both had pocket 3s. What are the odds? So yeah, I understand his C bet and his check. I mean, I did exactly the same thing with my pocket 3s. I think if I bet there on the river, I would have gotten it, but to do so with pocket 3s isn't that easy. And he might have still called. But he's playing every pot for now. I mean, of course, the only hand we have seen from him were the pocket 3s. So it's not that he's playing too many hands. What is he calling here with against two people? I wonder, are they all playing actually? I definitely want to see this go to showdown, because you just want the information. But the winner of this pot is gonna be the chip leader for now. So he calls 2 streets there. He flopped 2 pair and turns rivers a full house. Pretty curious what he called with. Obviously not good enough. 120, huh? So is he gonna abuse his big stack now? Always a bad position to have a big stack to your left, but that was gonna be the outcome no matter what. Usually want them on your right, so. So all in. So a bet of 120, a re-raise, and a shove. A call. A re-shove, a call, definitely. Guys, ace-jack versus queens and kings. Kings are gonna win this. So yay. Monster hand though, although the ace jack shouldn't have been in there anymore. I think with a 3-bet and a 4-bet behind you, you can definitely fold the ace jack there. Just let them two play it out. For anyone wondering, I think the icon this guy has is from Cow and Chicken, right? The devil from Cow and Chicken. Not that sure, but I think it is. So 3x under the gun gets the respect it deserves, and it's folded all rounds. Guy limps for some reason. Never like limping. And another limper, and another limper, and of course check because the guy has nothing. So all of their ranges are pretty weak. I don't think anyone has a king or a queen. The first person with a bet. or the last guy that shows aggression obviously wins this. The fact that he calls there probably means he has a king or a queen, and he has a flush draw or something. I don't see what's going on here. He should check and just call whatever he bets. Unless he has a flush draw. If he folds, he had a flush draw. He had a flush draw. Okay. Or maybe an open ender with jack 10. Both are possible. Let's see what happens first. So the Stampy, or whatever I want to call him, seems to be multi-tabling, I guess, because he has been playing rather slow. 9-5, I'll check. We actually flop almost the nuts, so we'll bet it here. The fact that the board paired is a bit annoying, but tried to gain some value, but didn't happen. Jack 10 I want to see a flop with most of the time. It depends on the amount. 640 and all in, definitely don't want to see a flop with that. I mean, under the gun 640 with jack 10 hearts. Yeah, 6 you would fold. I mean, don't get why with the amount of big blinds you still have, which is 32.5 big blinds, that you shove, that you open shove. With 6 is scary, yeah. What an idiot. I mean, the reason he shows is just saying, yeah man, I mean, how can I ever call? I have trash hands. And then for him to, you know, say something about it, it's just ridiculous. Just bad manners for what he did. Like, he's just giving information. Why would he ever reply to that? Pretty sure if he goes out now, he's gonna say bye or something, and that's what I would do. Like, if he sees this, like, ooh, 6-6 carry, and you bust him, or he gets busted, you're just gonna say bye. It would be entertaining. 6-5 suited, maybe, if I can open raise. Yeah, sure. And I get a call. Pretty terrible flop for me. He did call, so he might have an ace. Hit a 6, but definitely not a card I want to see. Have 2 pair now. So let's bet 120. What do I do if he re-raises me though? He just calls. Thank you for the money. As soon as he calls, you know you won. If you re-raises, I think I have to fold. Three, 4, 6. Check, check. I mean, this is more in the blindness range than his range. Because on the blind, of course, you're more likely to be playing with such hands than he is. The fact that he calls there twice probably means he's either on the draw or has an overpair. But now he does fold, so he probably had a flush draw. He had pocket tens. Wow, he didn't re-raise pre-flop on pocket tens. Ace jack, decent hand. This guy only shoved once, so if he shoved there, I think I even fold ace jack. I have a gut shot with a 10. Have the second nut flush draw now, so I'm gonna bet it. So we have the second nut flush draw and a gut shot. So he calls. I don't think he can call another bet here. Yeah, there it goes. No clue why he called there, by the way, probably with the draw himself. The fact that he checked on the river usually means they would fold. Like, if he calls there, and I'm obviously beat, but he was on the big blind, so it's probably not within his range to have anything there. Yeah, you can steal my big blind. Do not care. Do not care even a little bit. Yeah, 4-7 off fold. Blind's going up, so we're 10 minutes into the game. Check 8. Suited. I would have played if I could open raise, but now I'm just gonna fold. I'm not gonna be a limper or basically calling this because so many people behind and a shorter stack. We now has only 21 big blinds, 21.3 big blinds. I don't think he can just call. He either folds or re-raises. And he folds, and he's obviously gonna call, so he called before. 9-7-8 definitely more in the range of the original limper than the other guy, but apparently was not good enough. King 4 will fold, so he probably had a pocket. It's the hands I would put them on. Small blind falls, dealer button limps, no clue why. I mean, what do you do if you limp as a dealer button and this comes? You can't even see bet on it because you have no idea what the other guy has. And even if you like, now he went for a bet of 90 in a pot of 75, just to risk taking the other guy's blind. While if you just min raised pre-flop, you would have had the same result. We hit a 6. He did call me, so let's bet here once. He does call again. Let's check it down. We actually have 2 pair, but yeah, he had me out kicked even. So nice call there. I mean, I would probably called in the same situation. He check calls, checks it down, then checks it down on the river as well. It was a scary card on the river, so. And if it wasn't a club, I would have been there. Interesting hand here. He dunk bets several times, gets min raised. Has to call, I think. Unless you're bluffing, I don't see why you wouldn't call a min raise here. And gains so much value for 67. Does fold. Does find a fold with 67 cents. Now we have 2 small blinds. Smaller stacks. I'll just check. I mean, I'm willing to see a flop with this. Even if I went to 90, they probably both call. And I'm just playing a bigger pot with a draw heavy hand, which is not something I want to do. King 7. This guy has been playing really tight after he went lower stack. So whatever he does or whenever he's in the pot, he probably has a strong hand, like ace queen and up, I think. It does get a call. He just c-bets and takes a pot here, I think. If he has the balls for it. Yeah, he does. Wow, he's gonna get shoved on. And he does call, he has jacks. As I said, he obviously has a strong hand. You gain that information not because he went 3x under the gun, it's because he hasn't played a bunch of hands after he went short stacked. He just waited until he got a decent hand, and then a guy like him called with a trash hand like 7-10. Flop top pair, okay, sure, that's fine. It's just weak. 4-9, so he has a pair. Wow, that actually wins. But I mean, it was a limp and a checked around, so 3 X's. Folds. Is he gonna call? No, right? So now these two are short stack. I'm in between two short stacks. So I can get shoved down pretty easily. I mean, it's not that short stack. It's 20 plus big blinds. So a6, I'll raise. Get a call, some other position. Totally miss, and I'll fold to a bet here. Yep. There's no point for me to continue there. He does take a while for his decisions. Is he on multiple tables? No, he's just on a single table. So no clue why he plays as slow as he does. Maybe he just thinks about his actions. I mean, it's fine. There's no shame in thinking about what you should do. Especially in a tournament scene. In the cash game it's a bit different. If you really think you're good and you can just, yeah. You should never gamble because poker is gambling. You should never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. So the fact that you play a cash game with money probably means that that money doesn't have such significance for you. 3x by this guy, I will fold for once. Queen 10 is definitely a hand I wouldn't mind seeing a flop with, but it's just not good enough. Especially not against that guy who hasn't played a lot of hands either. If I had paid for something like a HUD overlay that showed me how many times he played or didn't play, then I would have actually known, but flop top pair here, with a flop top pair here, sorry. Is he gonna dunk? Is that what he's thinking about? Nope. Checks and check behind, I assume. Nope. It was a limp pre-flop. So the guy got a free flop and called. So he has a 7. He should bet here. Doesn't. What do you do if the other guy bets now? He just had a 4. I thought he had a 7. I put him on a pair, but I thought it was 7. Ace 8, I'll raise it up to 90. Don't want to give this guy a free one, and I want to have some information about this guy's hand. Plus my hand is decent enough to see a flop with, I think. If he 3-bets me, I'm obviously gone. He just calls, an ace comes. So he checks, which can be trappy, but I mean, an ace might scare him. And he folds. I mean, an ace isn't in his range if he just calls twice. It's more likely that he has a flush, that he has a pocket or suited connectors. So yeah, the flush could be there. But I mean, it's just betting for information there. It's always risking chips to gain chips, but checking gains you nothing. It just gives your opponent a free card. And it did have a decent hand, so I think the ace, even if I didn't have an ace, I could see better and rep the ace. And without the same suit, he could never continue there. Or, of course, having an ace on his own. Why did you bet 270 here and not shove? So he shoves, right? He doesn't shove. So he has a flush draw, he should bet. Yeah. Pretty weak play by him. I think he wanted to steal, gets called and just gave up, but being so low stack, well, still has 15 bigs. So still decent enough stack to play about with a bit. Goes to 180, which is 6 times the big blind. A bit too much for such a short stack. I mean, you're automatically valued in, and you run against aces. And you're drawing dead, so 2 and 9. Well, not dead, of course, 2 and 9, but... So blind's going up again. 20 minutes into this already, wow. And only one person bust. That's pretty uncommon for these kind of tournaments. Normally someone is bust way faster. So it just calls. I guess I'll call and let him see a free flop. Like 25 cents is fine for me with ace 7 suited. Definitely don't wanna make the pot any bigger than it already was. This could be in anyone's range. So without any decent cards or decent hand, I'm never gonna continue here. The first person that bets has it. I mean, yeah. It's pretty hard for most people to continue after a limp pot. Like even a 10, even a 5. Just want to throw it away there. Because you're not sure about your opponent and stuff. Oh, about your opponent's hand, because you just lack the information. I'm second in stack, but our 4 stacks are pretty close to each other. There's basically one outliner. Because he doubled up through him, and then he doubled up through that guy, and then that guy bust, giving this guy a bigger stack again. 100 in the call. Dunk bet now. I thought it was c-bet, but it doesn't. So he's basically willing to give up some pots. A jack 8, I'll fold. Blinds still aren't big enough for me to play that loose. 6-10. Won't even defend, I think. I'll let this guy take my blinds. Ace 9 definitely a hand I do want to defend with. I'd obviously, or even try to steal. I mean, my range is probably better than his at this point. It's obviously not a steal if you have a decent hand. Well, it can't be considered a steal, but it wasn't a steal because I had a good hand. Ace 3, I'll fold. Queen 4-4 should be more in the range of the small blind defending. Although the queen, I don't know, I think it's hard for the other guy to call out of a small blind with a hand like that. It's more common for a big blind to have it if it is a min raise. But it obviously wasn't. Guy picks up an aggression and actually is raking some chips. I have king queen. So if he goes here again, I'm gonna re-raise him. If it gets followed to me, like if he bets 150 and gets followed to me, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna go, but he goes 50, I'll definitely raise that to 150. I'm out of position, don't want to go to a flop out of position. It's hard for him to not continue here with a flop like that. Let's check it behind. He checks behind. We have total garbage. He got there on the river. What did he go with? Oh my god. What a how does he call there on that flop? Yeah, okay, if he thinks his ace is good. I don't see why he doesn't. Why he limps. Gets ace 10 and limps. And then just calls my aggression later on. Bizarre. I mean, sure, if he thinks his ace is good there, but didn't have a gut shot or anything. He was obviously blocking my gut shot. think if I bet again on the turn, he still calls. And then when the river his ace comes, he thinks he's good, so it's always gonna happen the same way. Only could have lost more ships. Already 25 minutes and still only one single person bust. He 3-bets me, so should be scared. I mean, I do have ace jack, probably want to call, but I think I want to fold it here. I mean, yeah, wow, what a fold. So he 3-betted me, was already for me a bit scary, and then him shoving obviously made the decision way easier. But the fact that he 3-betted after being pretty tight probably meant he had me beat most of the time. So now I'm the shortest stack. Do have an ace here on the big blind. Yeah, if you're really that inclined on trying to steal here. Thank you for the money. The reason why I did that is because he has been trying to steal pretty often. I did have an ace on the big blind, so Jack 9, but totally miss. I think 25 cents or a pot of 200 was definitely worth calling. 128. But as soon as you miss a flop, you obviously have to give this up. I mean, there's no point in bluffing against 3 other people out of position with a flop like that, where you're as good as drawing that. What could he bet with twice? If he checks here, I think he has an ace. If he bets, I wouldn't put him on an ace. Especially not seeing that he just calls pre-flop. So don't think he has an ace. I think he has to check. And then now he checks behind if he has a decent hand as well. Oh, he doesn't have any connection. That sucks for you, guy. Has to be really pissed now because I do think he has a hand. Now he can just bet whatever and take the pot. Pretty nice situation. Oh, he's there? No, he's not. What? He just... oh, there he is. Wow, lucky. 200, I think you have to call. So it does have an ace, yeah. Was correct, they both had an ace. Pocket aces. Yeah, sure, 100. And fold all around. Well, still got a blind. Obviously wanted to see a shove, but can't have it all. I mean, if you have 2 aces, seems unlikely that your opponent has anything else. Pocket deuces. Yeah, okay. 3-8 fold. Not short a stack. I mean, there's one really short stack and then 3 others are still close. This guy from India has actually been increasing his lead, so basically through this guy with the ace 9 versus ace 8. Just calls here, calls all around. Not a flop I can continue on. I think none of us can continue on it. So the first one that actually bets has it, especially now. But I do think someone has queen. I'm basically playing the board at this point. I mean, if another ace comes, ooh, I actually have that 5. I'll call that. Wow, he had the jack. Wow, what a slow play. What a weak slow play. Well, it's not really weak. He probably wants other people to make a hand and get there, but you have to assume on the flop that your jack is good. I want to bet it, right? I mean, he did get 50 out of me and him now, so. And blinds went up again. Yeah, we're already 30 minutes into this game, and I only have 11 big blinds now. No, it's blinds are 100, right? Yeah. So only have 11 bigs. Normally this should be over by now, but really slow game. 11 bigs usually means I have to shove pretty loose. Still 500 though, but we're all a bit short stacked. Usually at this blind level, you're more likely to be heads up already, or at least 3-handed. This guy's gonna have to shove pretty fast. Min raises. He can play a bit loose, because you know he has a stack size for it, but the rest of us have to be really careful. Queen I don't even want to do anything with it. Maybe I played a bit too passively, but I think all of us did. Didn't get any decent hands, and then the ace jack obviously got 3-bet and shoved down, so I had to throw that one away. Aces didn't get any action. Yeah, I think you have to shove there with any two. And you're dominated. Wow, you hit your 4. What? Oh, okay. That's a bit lucky on his end. I mean, I think you do have to shove there with anything. But being dominated and then hitting your 3-outer. It's not the first time he's willing to steal, but this time he just calls. Actually have a pair. So let's bet 120. I mean, we do have a pair. It's hard for him to continue there. And he doesn't. Jack 7 off fold. No reason to play there. Especially not after a call. He just checks, okay. Queen Jack is the nuts. Queen Jack is still the nuts. Queen Jack of diamonds is not nuts. Because you have 2 blockers for the flush draw or have a flush draw yourself. Aces are, nines are nuts of course, but aces probably really good as well. And a small bet and gets there. King Jack on the button. Gotta fold this one to his shove though. I mean, King Queen, sorry, not King Jack. Pretty decent hand, definitely want to play it, definitely would have min raised myself. But the fact that he shoved made it really hard for me to do anything. He does it twice in a row. I mean, this time I fold ace 10. People are gonna get tired by what he does though. Jack 8 off fold. Like maybe with the ace 10 could have called. Probably beats ace range after a double shove, but 300, is he gonna shove again? He can't, right? Yeah, he can't. 10-7, definitely fold. Unless he's just gonna limp again. Nope, another 300. So that's another big blind gone. Queen 8. Fold, it's 3 times he shoves, so his range is really weak where he shoves. He's gonna get a call pretty soon. Not by me though with his hand. Wow, so that guy has a hand once, because he hasn't played an insane amount of hands. So his opening range is really low, really good. And he does get the respect he deserves. Ace 4, I'll mean raise here. I mean, do we have an ace? Yay, gets through. 8-7 I'll fold. The reason not to just blindly shove open there is because it's weaker. You're more likely to get a call by weak ace, stuff like that. Check. He just called, so he probably doesn't have an ace. Check twice, wow. Check 3 times, then 9-10. 9-10 has him beat, wow. Fascinating. How do you call 100 if 9-10 has you beat? Yeah, sure. Flop the nuts. I mean, yeah, whatever, man. Your king doesn't do anything. Yeah, I wanted to type, ooh, king scary, but I'm not gonna. I think that would have been too rude and is not something I generally do. Would have been amusing though. I mean, so if it wasn't an ace, he would have probably shoved there. He shoves again, that's 5 times. And there's a call, 8-7 versus 8. 1-7 even gone. He's drawing that, he's gone. But time that guy's gone. Not a great player in my opinion. King Jack, obviously call. Totally missed though. Still missing. And let's fold here to a bet of 1-4 to the pot. Probably should have 3-bet pre-flop, but I am short a stack, only have 13 bigs, so I need to start shoving lightly. And with lightly I mean still find a decent hand, but can't play a lot of post-flop hands. Jack 10, definitely want to raise. If I get 3-bet I can still fold. He calls. And another caller. I think I'm beat here. Yeah, let's check behind. Still think I'm beat. Still think I'm beat though. Just check and see what I had. Yeah, see ace 10. The guy just slow plays so hard. I'm not sure what he's scared of. I'm really not. Like you flopped up there with ace 10. You don't even re-raise pre-flop, and still you act like a total buffoon. Yeah, man, whatever. He even had me out kicked. Pocket deuces, not bad. If he bets, I'm definitely gonna re-raise or shove. I'm willing to take a coin flip at this point. But I just get the blinds. That's good enough. I'll fold this one. I mean 4-3. Need to double up through one of these. Preferably him, so he drops out pretty soon after, but if I can shrink his stack or his stack, that's just as good. Well, man, already 39 minutes blind going up in just a small second, and I'll be really short blind. A short stacked queen 10, I think I have to shove here, depending on what happens. I think I have to fold now. Yeah, definitely have to fold after he called. If he didn't call, I probably would have shoved, but I think his opening range from Stampy was still better than mine. And he takes some chips, so he goes away from me, and blinds went up, so I'm really short stack now. Get a hand like 10-5, terrible hands. Would have flopped up there, but even then. Never want to throw in a half blind now for that. Basically looking for any ace, any king, and has to go in ace queen, definitely a hand I'll shove with. Normally I think that guy's thinking about it, but the fact that he, just plays slow might just mean that, just that he's playing slow. He does call, it's a raise, he flopped trip, so he has an 8 as an out. And he gets there. Okay, so that's that, and I'll see you guys for the next one.